Wrestling Classic back here live from the Vibe with my co-host Devon Law. We are here to talk about another week of professional wrestling. No Japanese wrestling this week. We're not going to be talking about Japanese wrestling. But what we will talk about is a little bit of Impact, something we don't talk about all the time.
Yeah, a bunch of racists.
But I did watch...
Or just one racist.
I did watch Hard to Kill. I watched bits and parts of Hard to Kill. I watched Rob Van Dam's match with Brian Cage that really wasn't a match. They ended up facing some guy named Dragar or something.
It's too much PDA for me.
How do you feel about the whole Rob Van Dam thing? Because let's just kick off talking about wrestling off the bat. I'm pretty sure Impact got kicked off of Twitch.
It seems like it.
Due to sexual content or something?
Their channel was down.
They're not saying what it's for, but it has to be for that.
I don't want to see old dudes make out with their overly full...
That was an overly sexualized
That's gross.
Scene.
That's gross.
Like,
I like
boobs,
it. I like
titties
his,
were out.
I like his
asses were out.
I like his character right now, but like... That was just like, I don't want to see that, dude.
Was it too much? And I also feel like the dad
I don't like seeing it in movies. I don't like seeing it in wrestling. I don't want to see nobody kissing or doing none of that.
So for those that don't know, Katie Forbes...
Like a good old-fashioned Indian film.
Katie Forbes is Rob Van Dam's real-life girlfriend. And the other woman, I don't know her name at the moment. I do know it, but...
That's his girlfriend's girlfriend.
That's his girlfriend's girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So technically, they're both Rob Van Dams. He doesn't have Charlie Sheen lifestyle.
It's like, what's his name? Jimmy Garvin with Precious and Sunshine. Or
yeah, but a lot more sexual.
Yeah, it was too much.
We knew Katie Forbes actually has a wrestling background. She's been wrestling. She's been doing stuff. The other woman doesn't really have a wrestling background, but now I guess they're both involved with Impact, and they're both hanging out with Rob Van Dam. And Rob Van Dam looks like the man. Yes, I'm down with the character. I agree with you with that. His character's dope right now, and that makes up for his how do I put it? Like that his wrestling skills are obviously taking a step back because he's older. He can't really do what he used to do.
It's because of his style.
Yeah,
he can still do tons of stuff.
Oh no, he can still wrestle,
and it still looks good. But it's just that's just obviously a young man style and a person.
Yeah, I mean, like he can't do what he used to be able to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We remember Rob Van Dam was this high flying,
and there's still tons he could do.
Yeah,
even the stuff he did back then looked a little like, as they would say, unorthodox. A lot of the stuff you always thought he was gonna like miss it or hurt himself or something like that half the time. Like it wasn't like as like slick and fluid as the guys look now. Like even he looked almost kind of awkward while he was doing it, but it was effective.
Yeah, and honestly, the match wasn't that bad with the Dragon guy. There was some things that stood out to me, like the fact that Katie Forbes held that chair in front of his head for so long, in front of Brian Cage's head, I think it was, before he did the Van Terminator, the coast to coast, or what does he call it?
Van Terminator.
It is a Van Terminator, right?
Yeah, and
what's a Van Daminator?
Where he throws the chair and kicks it.
Okay.
Remember doing that Smackdown?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember which one was
Dude,
which.
when that game came out, the first one he was in, I picked him. Like, he was the first guy I picked to do the story mode. Used it right away. He had, like, Rolling Thunder, Frog Splash, like one of the
had the coolest moves.
And it's such a good finish, too, because if the guy's on the ground, you can hit it. And you hit the big-ass Frog Splash, and it's done.
And I grew up a huge Rob Van Dam fan. Anyone that knows
he was sick.
Anyone that knows me personally.
We like doing the thumbs, and, dude, we all loved the 5-star Frog Splash.
No, 110%. Anyone that knew me personally, like, knows, like, since grade 4, I started calling myself AJD because my initials, those are my initials. I'd be like AJD. That's literally been my nickname.
He like jumped when he jumped across the ring. We like blew our mind. We see all this shit now and we're just like, nah. You see Rob Van Dam run Frog Splash, just like, whoa.
No, it was insane, and he would go far. Like he could.
But I think even today that would look nuts.
Yeah, he could go far across the ring. Like his opponent could be all the way across the ring.
And the way he sold it, where he looks like he hurt himself, you can't beat that, man.
No. Rob Van Dam is untouchable. I'm just no disrespect to the guy, but I do think the segment's a little too much.
That's not a disrespect to him.
I know.
It's just whatever.
But I'm down with it. I like the character. I like the two girls.
She could put some goddamn clothes on.
I know,
too.
but I like it at the same time. But I also get why it's an issue.
Put some damn clothes on, lady.
But once again, thank you, Rob Van Dam, for giving me that AGD nickname. I told him that story in NOLA, and I don't think he cared, but we had a good time. But and
nobody
now,
ever called you that.
Everybody, maybe not you, but anyone that's known me from elementary school and high school, like if someone rolls up right now and they say AGD, I know how long they've known me for.
Yeah, but did you create it or did you start telling people?
No, I created it and it just became
a nickname other people give to you.
No, but I said it and it just ran. Like people.
Yeah, but you said it. That doesn't count.
It counts.
Someone
people
else
still call me
it.
that. When people call me AGD, I know exactly how long they've known me for.
Yeah, that's one thing, but that's not a true nickname. You can't give yourself a nickname.
It ran.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you gave it to yourself.
No, 110%.
That does not count. What kind of loser gives himself a nickname?
That's the only one I've ever given myself. I got tons of them though.
One is too many.
What do you mean?
I'm happy Ken Shamrock's back in wrestling.
I don't care.
No,
I like Ken Shamrock.
Impact. Nobody cares, but it's cool.
I think that's my whole vibe about Impact.
So much
after I watched it, everything after I watched Hard to Kill,
much of what Impact has done this year, especially since Don Callis and what's his name took over.
Yeah.
Has been so much better than a lot of the stuff AEW
does. It's been better, and I enjoy it.
A lot of it's been better than half the stuff AEW does.
I enjoyed Ken Shamrock when he first came back in the match he had with Moose and all that stuff. Then he did the thing with Joey Ryan. I'm like, well,
And then they had to do an Impact thing, and I mean, obviously, it's been the plan for like a year to give the belt to Tessa, but come on.
Let's talk about that, though.
She's a filthy
she's
racist.
the first ever women's heavyweight champion. First ever woman to win that.
Sexy started it.
I know. Where? In AAA?
And Lucha Underground.
Okay. What, Lucha Underground's like... Is it still on TV?
What, Impact's a lot more prestigious than Lucha Underground?
It's been around longer.
Doesn't matter. Are they more prestigious? It's the same.
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
the same.
I think so.
There's here, and then there's here. And if you're here, you're all the same.
Sure, but I just think for a major title, that actual...
Sexy Star's a way better wrestler, too.
Guys like Kurt Angle, Sting, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, James Storm, they've all held this title, okay?
Magnus.
Sammy Callahan, Magnus.
Nick Aldis.
They've all held this title. And now Tessa Blanchard has. Who's really held the Lucha Underground title that's like... Johnny Impact, he also held this too. Johnny Impact.
Well, you see what Booker T said?
What?
It's like, that's the stupidest thing they've ever done. He's like, you don't even have a top guy now. He's like, who's your top guy?
So what is the feedback on it?
He's like, everybody's going to start losing to Tessa now?
Because some people like it, some people dislike it. The match was good.
Nobody's going to have the balls in 2019, 2020 to come out and say it wasn't a good mood. People are afraid because hardcore left, liberal... snowflake, as they say, these social justice warriors have taken over the world. You're not even allowed to critically say something about anything, because if you don't think like all the liberals do, and trust me, I'm not conservative by any stretch, but I'm also not from the era or in the era or of the mindset that just because you're offended, you're right. You're wrong. You can be offended. You have the right to be offended. And a lot of things are offensive, and you should find it offensive. That doesn't make you right. That doesn't make the other person wrong. I don't understand giving Tessa Blanchard. And like the way they talk about it is the same thing I think about Charlotte. She's really good.
I know.
They're not that great.
We started dropping jokes about Charlotte versus Brock at Mania.
She's not that great. And they've had a lot of good momentum. What do you do from here now?
Do you think this was Impact's...
But like you said, you were asking, what are people saying about it?
But
nobody's going to say anything negative about it. Let's say that.
But do you think this is Impact's move to try to put themselves out there and get that media?
Not at all.
Whatnot?
Not at all.
No?
If you've been watching, they've been building her winning the strap for a long time. This is actually good long-term story plan.
Are they saying that Tessa is the most valuable person they have in that company?
I think anybody that watches that would probably agree.
That's wild.
People have been saying that for at least the last 6 months.
And I like Tessa
minimum.
as a...
No, like people have been saying it, and people that watch it every week are like... And that's why, like, I just don't... Like, I wouldn't give a lady the top championship, but who the hell am I? I don't book. Yeah, no, I'm a nobody. I'm a guy that sits here and talks.
I did see a funny comment where someone's like, well, why don't they just let someone win the knockout title? And someone's like, well, Eric Young did. And I'm like, that's pretty funny.
But yeah, no. But no, it's... The best thing you could say about it is they had a long-term story plan. They had her lose a bunch of times and then to finally win it. It's a good long-term story plan that a lot of people, nobody's doing, and that's what we like. So kudos to them for sticking to it, even with all her racism coming out.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So the whole social justice warrior thing, talking about social justice warriors and stuff like that. Tessa Blanchard put out a tweet saying, why can't girls just get along and all support each other? Got a ton of backlash of people saying they've been bullied by her. And to be fair, she spat in someone's face and called them the N-word in Japan.
She's been pretty disliked for a long time.
Yeah, but anyways.
It wasn't old news that people don't like her.
No, I know, but like, so then it also came out that like she spat in someone's face in Japan and called them the N-word. That many wrestlers came out and said, well, you used to be rude to me, you bullied me, you weren't nice to me backstage. She's getting all this backlash.
Yeah, and if you're gonna put her in a tweet with that kind of positivity, you better have a clean background, lady.
And it led to a lot of people. Sitting there being like, are they still gonna put the belt on her? Are they still gonna put the belt on her? And they did.
Chelsea Green coming out too saying
Chelsea Green is a big, with Robert Strauss now on NXT. But did that play a part to people's responses to her winning? Did anyone say like they can't believe they did that for that fact? I listened to Busted Open and David LaGreca, and then went on a little bit of a tangent about how it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Shout out to those guys.
Shout out to LaGreca and Billy Ray and Mark Henry.
LaGreca's awesome. Tommy Dreamer, everyone that's on that podcast.
LaGreca loves everybody. Yeah, and everything.
Yeah, I can relate. I understand where he's coming from.
I wish I had that accent though. It's awesome.
No, for sure. But like there has to be some backlash.
I follow that online shit really closely.
No, that's what I mean. You're the Twitter guy.
I didn't see any backlash. It was mostly after people. The tweet got way more backlash.
Yeah. Do you think she's a racist?
But I think we're also in a place too where, like, there's this whole cancel culture, but I don't think people actually genuinely want other people to fail or have their careers taken away from them. I think okay, there is a cancel culture, and there's probably obviously a section where people want people to go away and fail and become nothing in life because of bad things they've done or said. But I think for the most part, all people want is for you to be held accountable for your actions. I don't think anybody wants Tessa's career to end. I think a lot of people are saying don't book her. But I think people
did cancel bookings.
Yeah, but I think what people, especially people that had been affected by her behavior, want is for her to be held accountable for her actions. And especially if you're going to put a tweet like that out into the world, you better have a clean record. And she clearly doesn't. She sounds like a huge piece of shit.
And there's no excuse for it, but from listening to Busted Open, what I got
Shout out to Ricochet for getting away from her.
from Busted Open, what I got is that supposedly she got in a little bit of a brawl with the girl she was wrestling in Japan before the match. So when she was in the match, no excuse at all. There was some sort of heat, and it kind of came out of whatever. Once again, no excuse. It was still a racist comment. You shouldn't do that. I forget who it was on Busted Open that was trying to defend her.
Did you see Tessa's speech after she won the belt?
Yeah.
She says, "I have the greatest mind of anyone I've ever known."
What does that even mean?
Nobody knows. She's an idiot.
What does that even mean? Like, did you say that in character? Because I don't even know if I can buy that.
I have the greatest mind of everyone I've ever known, and I have half the brain that you have.
It could have been something like that.
Right?
Anyways, that's the whole situation with Tessa. It is what it is. She is the Impact Women's title champion. From what I saw, they followed it up with her and Sami Callihan still going at it. Hopefully, the rumor is Sami Callihan gets a rematch, and maybe Havoc makes their debut, joins OVE.
Here's the episode title for you.
What?
She's ugly on the inside.
Yeah, that might describe Tessa Blanchard.
Get that racism out of here.
Before we move on, I just quickly want to give a huge shout out to Maestro Classic. Maestro Classic is the best in beard care, and it's undeniably good at keeping your beard clean and conditioned. It's a sulfate-free beard wash to clean the beard without drying your skin, and beard butter to condition it, and beard oil to help it shine. They have a buy one get one free sale going on right now. The promo code's in my story on Instagram. You can check them out. You can buy their products online on maestroclassic.com, and you can also purchase it in stores in Target and Heb in America. Use my promo code TWC Maestro, and you can save yourself 50% on your products when you're buying it online. I use it. Devon uses it. I got a bunch of people to use it. All the professional wrestlers in the WWE, whether on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, are all groomed and taken care of by Maestro Classic. So if you look at their grooming and their beards and their haircuts, it's all Maestro Classic. They also deal with the 76ers and NASCAR and other companies as well. They are proven in the game of beard care and just grooming generally. So check out Maestro Classic. Do the thing. They're dope. I appreciate them like crazy. And yeah, speaking about Maestro Classic, how do you feel about...
That was a really good read.
Thank you. Maestro Classic, how do you feel about... They do Braun Strowman all the time, and Braun Strowman defeated Shinsuke Nakamura this week on SmackDown in a singles match. And how do you feel about people going over the champion before facing them? Is that something that bothers you? Because
it used to, but now it's just a thing.
I think it's a thing, but like, because I
will also used to get bothered by kicking out of finishers. Doesn't bug me anymore. I used to get bothered in tag matches when people tap the back. Doesn't bug me anymore.
Can I ask you a question? We're talking about things that bother you.
You learn to get over things, and that's sort of WWE style. It's stupid. Yeah. We can agree it's stupid, but it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't. Like, it doesn't really bother me, but I actually would never have noticed it, but I listened to Corey Graves' podcast and he brought it up. How that bothers him. And I'm like, that is kind of dumb.
I like when they lose in a tag match or something like that. It's not a clear one-on-one.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, I pinned the champ. The good guy, one of the bad guys that claim I pinned the champ, but they didn't really actually beat the champ, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But this is just like, well...
But because the way Graves said on After the Bell, and shout out to Graves and After the Bell, is you do kind of lose that anticipation of these two have never touched. This is going to be their first fight.
In the world champ.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like the whole idea of the anticipation of seeing these guys actually fight, who's going to win when they actually do, it's gone. And that is the shitty part about it. But once again, it actually doesn't bother me that much either. I just want to know how you felt about it. Other things that happened on SmackDown, Bobby Roode's back, attacking Roman Reigns. We're getting Bobby Roode versus Roman Reigns next week.
I love a good Canadian.
He looks great. I know he was suspended, and it's crazy because earlier that day, I was trying to do the numbers game. I had him like, if it's the Usos and Roman against Baron and Dolph Ziggler, I'm like, to even the odds, I need someone back. I'm like, oh yeah, Bobby Roode was with them. And then I was like, he must be coming back soon. But then they brought the Revival out. I'm like, now the numbers game is all over the place.
Your Revival going to leave?
And then Bobby Roode did come back, so I'm happy about that. I don't know.
I don't want them to leave.
I don't want them to leave either.
Because I don't really watch any other companies.
I watch AEW, and I wouldn't mind them being there.
I did watch them this week, but their tag division sucks.
Yeah, we'll talk about
AEW. They're deep, but they don't do anything. You'd think with the Young Bucks there, you'd have the best tag division in the world. Like with them, they understand tag wrestling and how good it could be. But
they could tag any. Even this is the thing though. It's not even just AEW. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I would like.
They should just like Cody. But
I wouldn't even mind like there's certain teams. Even the Usos, they're in that group. There's certain teams in different companies across the board that I'd like to see face each other. that will never happen. Like I like God in New Japan. I like seeing the revival of the Usos in New Japan would be pretty cool too. There are teams in AEW that I do like. Like I do like the Young Bucks. There are some dream matches with WWE tag teams. Like the Usos versus the Young Bucks. That's appealing to me. The Revival versus the Young Bucks. Like they totally got different styles. It's like huge contrast.
Usos versus any decent tag team in the world. Usos and Red Dragon, let's do it.
I don't know.
Usos and Red Dragon?
That's going to be insane when that actually happens.
God, at least we'll know we can probably.
And you know what? Like, let's just jump around anyways. Like, it was really cool to see DIY. DIY got back. I know, but DIY got back together this week.
I mean, kind of. They've kind of teamed up a bunch over the
No, for sure. But like, they're going to be going up against Mooshtache Mountain with
against Tyler
Mooshtache Mountain.
Say it again.
Mooshtache Mountain.
You hearing this guy?
With Tyler
Bate. I can't say mustache.
With Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. But I'm excited for that.
You got marbles in your mouth, bro?
I don't know, man. You didn't want your brother to come on because he said nobody would understand him. So
yeah, no.
But like I like there is my point being of all this conversation. There is so many good tag teams. Red Dragon for sure, the Undisputed Era guys. So many great tag teams.
Tons of good tag teams, dude.
So like even if they left, like I don't think it would hurt that bad. There's some matches out there for them to have. There's also
Usos and Lucha Bros.
Yeah, and there's exactly the Revival versus Lucha Bros. There's so many good tag teams out there that. Whether guys stay
Lucha House Party versus the Dark Order.
Whether they stay or leave, there's a lot for them to do. I want them to stay, though. I think the Revival. My point was.
They're going to get more money in WWE, so they will stay. No, they're 100%. Businessmen.
The other thing that happened was John Morrison basically turned heel in the opening promo. And he addressed everything that the fans were complaining about. Like, they were filming a chronicle of me. I was gonna return in the Rumble, but I saw what was happening with my buddy The Miz, so I decided to come early. Like, because I think everyone was kind of like, why did they do his return that way? Why didn't you come back in the Rumble?
Because Edge is getting the big return now.
Yeah, we'll see. But like he addressed all that, and I like it when the WWE does that, where they actually address what they know people are talking about. Like, why was his return just walking out the door?
Yeah, they've gotten better at that.
And that was good. Like, I appreciate that. Even though it doesn't make the return any better.
They're still denying Sasha and Bailey sitting on the floor, but that's a story for another day.
But it was good stuff. And then, he immediately stated his case saying, the fans are the problem, not the Miz. And Miz is still in that tweener mode. Like, I still like you guys, but, like, listen to him. And, he's being kind of heelish. And pairing them up with the New Day to kick it off is good stuff. It's funny. We'll see what happens next week. We get Big E vs. John Morrison. This is his first in-ring match back. He did some cool little cannonball spiral kick thing on Big E this week, and that's it for John Morrison, I think.
And a pair of jeans.
Yeah, he still does his parkour stuff.
The Shaman of Sexy.
They still got the nickname. His
nicknames are awesome.
I actually really enjoyed seeing his entrance again for the first time in so long. The slow motion.
Yeah. And especially because almost everyone's music sucks now. There's like a recognizable entrance theme.
Oh no, 110%. I'm glad they didn't change any of that. And he said that they were planning new entrance for me and new music.
Not a shout out to CFO.
Yeah, but great to see John Morrison back. Other thing I just want to mention on SmackDown, just to segue to another quick just plug, but the Usos were repping their new Chalkline jackets, which you can get from chalklineofficial.com. They look dope. They're one of the cooler jackets that they dropped. They just dropped a Mega Powers jacket that I'm hyped about. Undertaker portrait jacket with the purple glove Undertaker. So you can all get all that stuff on either www.shop.com or Chalkline Official's website themselves. Just use the promo code TWC15 on the older stuff. You can save 15%. But check out the new stuff. Get that Usos jacket. I'm rocking Chalkline right now with this OG NWO Wolfpac jacket.
Back when
for people that always ask me, like, when I'm about to order a Chalkline jacket, like, what size should I get? Like, I wasn't sure either. And I got, like, this in an XL way back in the day, and it's way too big. That's why I have, like, I'm wearing because I have a hoodie under this time. But it's true to size. I'm a large, so I order a large, and it fits. If you're a medium in a T-shirt, order a medium, and it'll fit. If you want it to be a little bit baggier and, like bigger fitting, go a size up. But if you want it to fit properly, just get the size you are, and it'll fit. So Chalkline Official, TWC15, if you want to save 15%, check them out. Let's just jump into Raw really quickly.
Not a fan of people that dog on the Wolfpac. I loved that.
I think it ran
sick theme
short,
song,
that's why.
Sick theme. No, people were like, oh, because people go with the narrative, NWO got watered down, there's too many members, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Listen, if you were 8 to 18, you loved the Wolfpac, you loved their theme, you loved their gear. Conan was cool as hell. Sting looked sick. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Sting looked awesome. Tomato face Sting is awesome.
No, he was sick. I was gonna say, I honestly that's the point that you were making a second ago.
You let me speak on this.
That was the point you were making a second ago, though. Like, it's true. You had to actually, like, kind of be alive or a kid during that period to understand how cool
That's
it was.
Why you hate Meltzer fans. People start echoing the Wolfpac sucked, NWO, too many people.
No, because it wasn't. Because if you were alive during that, I mean, you were at school.
Dude,
you and your buddies were splitting which NWO members. Dude, when Wolfpac versus White and Black.
When, like, Napster and Kaza came out, that Wolfpac theme was one of the first songs I ever downloaded.
One of the coolest memories I have is of WCW watching it live was Sting coming down, ripping off the shirt showing the NWO white and black and slamming. Oh no, clotheslining Hogan, slamming the Giant, and then ripping off and having the red. Like, it was such a moment to see. Looking back now as an older person, like, did it make sense for Sting
Luger?
Did it make sense for Sting to join the NWO? Probably
Yeah,
not.
It did. Because red is a cool color.
But honestly, I don't care because as a kid, I loved every second of it.
And they were cool.
Yeah, and to have obviously my all-time favorite.
Kevin Nash holding the microphone like a cigar.
My all-time favorites in there was Savage. Conan brought the coolness to the group. He brought like the cool to the.
He bowed it.
You know what I mean? Like, I do think the problem with it was too short-lived.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. It was too short-lived.
It's watered down. Why are they splintering it? They splintered. Oh, shut up.
By January, they joined all back together, but like, I wish it ran longer. I wish Savage didn't get injured. Sting got injured in the middle of the Wolfpac thing too. That's why he was gone by the time they ended.
Yeah, all those guys got injured.
Yes. No, Sting. Savage was actually working with like
right.
They
sat at home and made the exact same money.
I know, but but he like his knees were busted. I remember, but then Sting disappeared and Kurt Hennig wasn't like. It all fell apart. But the Wolfpac was dope, man. And anyone that was alive in that time loved the Wolfpac for sure, without a doubt.
So how about don't just stop. How about
Wolfpac is back?
You might wind up in a body bag, bro. Yeah. How about Kevin Owens always takes advantage of every single opportunity he's ever been given, good or bad.
Can we just first things first?
He's been the MVP for at least 4 years.
A fist fight was a regular like hardcore match.
Yeah, obviously.
But
he's been like the MVP for almost 4 years.
No,
everything
110%.
he turns into at least be watchable.
I've been listening back to our older episodes.
He's going Tony Hawk Pro Skater, jumping off the half pipe.
That was the thing. So I was listening to our older episodes, and I was just listening to one earlier today about when
of us,
of me and you, like
you
one of our older
episodes.
episodes. Well, I'm trying to get all clips together for some stuff. But
what an ego!
I'm trying to get clips together for a
you
demo
really do
reel.
think you're an influencer?
No, I am. But
a racist influencer.
I'm
not racist. I'm just messing.
Yeah.
With
By
you
the
guys.
way, I'm not racist. I like Japanese wrestling.
It's Chinese people he doesn't like. Not just joking. He's not racist.
It was a great episode last week. But my point was, when that entrance ramp got introduced, as many people did, we were joking around about how it looks like a skateboard ramp. And Tony Hawk. The fact that he pulled off that move, that he pulled off and took advantage of that was so cool.
I was trying to sometimes you try to picture the way things work like in your head, and I'm just like, how did he do that? Because you have to have the decent amount of momentum, and you have to like plant and pivot at the perfect time.
And he like did a somersault.
That momentum and pivot. If you don't do it properly, you're slipping and rolling down.
It wasn't like
or face planting.
Like, did he do that? I want to know if he rehearsed that earlier in the day. Like,
it doesn't matter.
I want to know.
It doesn't matter if you rehearsed it. He did it in one take.
No, 110%. It's like Randy Orton and Seth Rollins about WrestleMania 31.
It doesn't matter.
They said they rehearsed that RKO off the curb stomp so many times, but they never hit it until the actual match happened. Like I think Seth says, like, in rehearsal, we never hit it.
Of course, they say that for the cameras. We tried it over and over and over. They're workers, bro. They're not going to work a work into a shoot work for marks.
No. Okay, Hulk Hogan. My favorite tweet
of all time.
Don't work yourself in a work, you marks. No one it's a shoot when you work yourself in a work. I don't even know what he said.
Me neither.
But it's so good.
Hulk Hogan's penis is not the same as Terry Bollea's penis.
God bless Hulkamania and Hulk Hogan, man.
Everybody's a little racist, brother. That's what Tessa was saying.
Yeah. God, Hulk Hogan.
What a garbage person Tessa is.
Do we say Hulk Hogan's okay, but Tessa's garbage? I don't know. The world's a confusing place.
Hulk Hogan's done a lot more for the world.
But anyways,
not Tessa with her flat face.
And Hulk Hogan's, I guess, I'm not once again not defending Hulk Hogan. In a private scenario, we probably didn't know he was being recorded.
That doesn't make it any better. He said some horrible. I was just joking, man. I was just joking. Oh my god.
No, but I mean, like,
if you say it in private, it doesn't matter.
Tessa was like blatantly in the ring to the person, like just out of spite, you know.
And then did she pull the wrestler thing after? I was just working, sis.
Don't work yourself into a shoot.
Do girl wrestlers call themselves brother?
I don't know, brother.
Hey, sister.
But anyways, Kevin Owens the man.
Yeah. Really cool.
Samoa Joe did his thing. I honestly, the first one was stupid. The rules were stupid.
It doesn't matter.
Weapons, but the match
had a
was
good memory from it.
I really do like the whole Monday Night Messiah name.
Yeah, it's cool.
Grown on me.
I'm surprised they're allowed to make that shirt they made.
I'm not.
Making him look like Jesus?
I don't know. Didn't Punk make a shirt like that back?
That's blasphemous. Second City Saint.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of saints. There's only one Jesus.
He's a Messiah.
And he's not white. Jesus wasn't white.
CrossFit Jesus, Seth Rollins, you know.
CrossFit changed my life. I got Becky Lynch.
But I like the whole idea of Buddy Murphy being sad. Murphy sitting outside the ring up for like a whole match in the next match, and Seth like, come help us. And he comes in there and helps them.
I'm never against factions.
Same here. And the fact that's more than 3 people. Because how many more than 3 people factions do we have? God.
Just the inner circle.
Yeah. Now we finally have another one in the WWE. It's like, will Seth bring more people
Undisputed
into that?
Era.
Yeah, okay, fair. But that's why they're sick. You know, they're dope.
Boom.
But I'm happy. I'm happy with Buddy
I'm glad
Murphy
you're
there.
happy.
Because you know what? As much as I love seeing Murphy versus Aleister Black, they had killer matches every time. After Murphy lost for the third time, you're like, what are they going to do with this guy? Because he looked good in losing the first time, looked good in losing the second. This guy keeps losing. Then you're kind of like, okay, now where does he go from here? You know what Aleister Black can go? Aleister Black can go anywhere from here. Where does Buddy Murphy go? They had a story.
Aleister Black's going to go back to his room. Let me read.
Somebody knock on my door.
I'm trying to turn off the light. I'm trying to save power.
But Buddy Murphy having a story going forward from that was good. That's really good. That was really good creative on them.
It's not that winning or losing doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's what do you do with it? How do you shape it?
Because some people,
Jim Ross always says it.
Yeah.
If you can't take a loss and if you feel like you're gonna take a loss, your career's over. Like you're not any good.
No,
at your
that's
job.
something that after the first two losses to Aleister Black, I'm like, oh, he keeps throwing. But by the third one, I'm like, they need to do something with him. Otherwise, this is just making him look bad. At this
Stuff
point.
like that we actually like Buddy Murphy joining the whatever United Front or the hell they're calling themselves.
I don't know that name yet.
And good matches like Murphy and Aleister and stuff like that. I do get kind of curious of who writes that or books it or produces it, because I want to know if it's like the same people attached to all the good stuff. Because then it's just like, if you have the same names attached to the bad stuff, get rid of them. I'm not for anyone getting fired, but a lot of those people have a pretty decent resume. They'll be able to get other work. Or there could be another role for them.
Do you think that was a botch at the end of the match of Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy, where he did the
Murphy?
Aleister Black hit the black mass,
and
the ref said he got his shoulder, but what made it look like Murphy kicked out of the black mass, so he had to hit it again, and then he got to 1, 2, 3. Sorry, excuse me. The internet, the people on the interweb,
I didn't say anything about that,
were complaining that the black mass is one of the most protected moves.
Well, get over it. You don't know what a protected move is.
They're trying to protect that move so much. Now it looks like Buddy Murphy kicked out of it. Now it's da-da-da-da.
People are so annoying.
That's so nitpicky. I know, understand, but I think
it's a protected move. So, and you know what? If you still think it's good, people can kick out of 100 times. You're still gonna think it's good. So shut the hell up.
My theory is this: my theory. I don't really care about that, but I don't have a theory. Actually, my point was it a botch?
I would say that Murphy didn't lay down properly.
Was it a botch or was it like?
And in that situation, it'd probably be better to hit the kicking and then to just hold his shoulder down, because then you make Murphy look like an even bigger douche.
And I think it is. I think it actually adds to the fact that he fought him 3 times, but by the third time he figured out a way to kick out of it.
It's better than
it took 2 to take him out.
It's better than what AEW does. They have the ref just wait there for the guy to kick out.
Yeah, but I just mean like it doesn't hurt Aleister at all. In my mind,
the kick looks nuts. You can't.
Yeah, if he does it again, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, this guy's gonna kick out because Buddy Murphy kicked out.
Protected finish. Shut up.
Because like realistically, Buddy Murphy wrestled a guy 3 times in a row. Like he should learn how to kick out of it at least once.
People complain about that dumb shit. Like, shut up.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up to you. That's probably like a stupid Instagram comment of the week, but
that was. You see Baron Corbin's tweet?
Yeah, about the.
You see all the people coming after him?
Yeah.
Why are you so...
Dave Meltzer, obviously.
Like, why are you so... But whatever. Meltzer's... He always defends AEW. But, like, fans, like, little jabroni mark nerds.
Yeah.
You're like, really? You're going to let him get you worked up like that? We're like, relax, dude.
Yeah. Baron Corbin... The match... Like, listen, I enjoyed the first match of AEW. Like, I thought it was a good opener. It was fun to watch. Orange Cassidy had a huge pop and all this stuff. But I do also see where he's coming from, because it was, like, spot. And AEW matches... Besides certain matches, the main event wasn't really like that.
And then it's just like Dave Meltzer's like, oh, like your company did that, blah, blah, blah. But if I was Baron Corbin, I'd be like, yeah, but I didn't.
But I also think, once again, as an alternative, AEW...
He's a bad guy.
AEW can be different than what's going on there.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No, he's right. And that's one thing that, like, still to this day, like, you know, I said I get over most things. Yeah. What I'll never get over is when, like good guys, like, are doing their entrance, like, turn their back to the heel or something like that. I hate that.
Yeah.
Why isn't that heel beating the shit out of you?
Why is he jumping?
You don't turn your back to an opponent, man. You do that shit in the streets.
We'll talk about this. There's something I want to talk about when it comes to MJF too, when we talk about AEW. But really quickly, a couple other things on Raw that were kind of whatever.
I banged Dallas's daughter.
A couple other things on Raw that I found kind of things that kind of frustrate me. There's 2 things that frustrate me. I don't remember
anything that happened.
No, I do, because this reminded me. What the hell are they doing with the Street Profits? 1 minute they're going after the tag titles. 1 minute they're going after the tag titles. They're great in the ring when they're out there doing their thing. It's great.
Here's the thing.
But then now this week they're just backstage being hype men again for the show.
But here's the thing.
Cheers to the Street Profits.
And this is what. Yeah, I actually have a beer in here.
Yeah.
Here's what they do though. And I don't think you'll disagree with this. Something starts getting popular, something catches on, people start talking about something, or people just genuinely kind of like something or think something's cool. WWE doesn't let it become cool. They take it over when it's at the seed of being cool before it blossoms. Street Profits are kind of cool.
They are cool.
And they saw they were cool. They're not that cool anymore. The last 2 times they've had promos have been really garbage and they're really nerdy. But anyways, they did the same thing with Becky.
Yeah.
They don't let it blossom.
Let it be. Let them do what they do because they know what they're doing with
Before
their
they used to let it blossom, and then you put the machine behind it for the merchandise, whatever. But I don't know who they is. I'm just saying they.
Yeah.
Could be Vince, could be writers, could be producers, could be Triple H.
Heyman.
I don't know. I'm just saying they. I don't know who they is. I'm not gonna act like I know who they is. Like a lot of you guys, you're like, oh, this is Heyman or this is Burton.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying they because they encompasses anyone who calls the shots. They take it over, and a lot of those people aren't cool or don't know what's cool,
and I feel
and worse.
Yeah.
What was cool was these people were being themselves or being the characters that they created. And then once somebody else takes it over, you're not that character.
I do feel though like this happens a lot more on Raw than it ever really does on SmackDown.
Nothing
good
happens
ever
on
does
SmackDown
on NXT. No, but those characters on SmackDown still get to be themselves. Like they know what their characters are.
Yeah, but we know what it is in NXT.
And Raw is super
NXT
micromanaged.
Is Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, but I think Raw is so super micromanaged that all even like the bigger characters that are cool are like like you're saying they don't get to be themselves. So I think at some point,
a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
I also feel like at some point. And I don't know. Once again, I don't know. I've never been backstage. I'm not a wrestler. I've never worked for the company. I've ever tried. But I think at some point, just these guys get to know. And mostly the guys that come from NXT and stuff. Mostly those guys, not the people that shot right to the main roster or whatever. I think they once with all their how well they're taken care of down there and how they're treated down there. At some point, after all the practice and training, at some point they know what their characters are, and if you gave them the opportunity to play their characters how they know that they're because. That's what old school wrestling was. Like Savage knew who Macho Man was. These guys knew who they were, and they were able to play that character because they knew who it was and how their person would say it. I think they're so micromanaged and so scripted now that they might know who they are, and it's just they have to say things and do things that they probably wouldn't do if they got to play
wording.
Themselves.
You can give the same. You could say, "Hey, Miz." No, Miz is a bad example because Miz is good. Miz is good. That's a bad example. But hey, Rollins. This is the message we want you to get across.
Yeah,
get it across.
But
we need you to make sure that this message gets across. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
They're all creative. Almost. I'd probably say all of them. They
and
wouldn't get to.
You've been playing the same character for 4 or 5 years.
You're not getting to that level if you're not a little bit creative. They're creative. That's what they do. It's their craft.
Yeah.
And no matter what company, what promotion, one of the most obvious things in wrestling today is you can tell who's in charge of their own character development. Yeah. It's very obvious.
No, 100%.
It is extremely obvious. Or people that know. And then there's a couple people who aren't. There's a couple people that I just know the ones that are in WWE that are so good that you can't tell they're being scripted. Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Baron Corbin.
And that's what I'm saying because we've talked about this in the past.
Other than those three, most people can't take material and just do stuff.
And that's what we talked about in the past. Is that level of confidence? Those guys are confident with their characters.
Like Seth does
so
better.
They know how to take what they get and own it.
Seth does better as a heel.
Yeah.
Yes, he's just as scripted as he was when he was a babyface, but he just comes across very slimy and hateable. So it works when he does scripted stuff as a heel.
Do you think so? Let's go over that because I also do think it's a confidence thing. I think those are guys on the roster that do take the script because they're all scripted and they're confident with it enough. They know how to work it. Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, The Miz, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan. These are all guys that can take that script and know how to work it with their character. Do you think because the Street Profits is still so new to the main roster and it is such a corporate thing that they're just going with it? Like they're not confident enough yet to really just make it their own yet? Because we don't know the backstage politics, but I think that has to be a part of it.
I think there's whether it's 1 or 5 or 10, there's a lot of people on backstage who aren't young, who aren't black, who aren't cool, and who didn't have their upbringing that are trying to tell them how to be.
Man, I forget who it was. Maybe
you know what I mean?
You listen to all the podcasts too. There was someone that kept saying, yo, let me just be myself. Let me be myself to Vince. And then finally let him be himself, and they actually started getting really over. I think it might have been Baron Corbin. I don't know. But
I don't know. Austin said that forever.
Yeah, but there was somebody specifically that's on the roster now that kept going, saying, can I just be a little bit more like myself, be a little bit more than myself? And they kept being like, do this and do that and do this. And finally, they're like, okay, go be more like yourself. And then I think it was Baron Corbin because he wanted to cut his hair and he wanted to do something else and he wanted to do something else.
No, because Corbin was talking about how Vince was really in control of that constable thing.
Yeah.
So it sounds like everything he's done, he's worked with Vince with.
Yeah.
But the hair cutting thing, he's like, they just didn't want him to do it yet.
Yeah.
And he was just like, it's going. So I don't know.
And it was on that, but I think that's the thing about the Street Profits is I think they're great. They're already so great. I just feel like they weren't so micromanaged.
And they're really good in the ring.
And they had that confidence.
I don't even think it's micromanagement. I think it's you're having, like I said, whoever's doing the do is not young, they're not black, they're not cool.
And wrestling's overproduced today. That's just generally. like it doesn't feel as raw as it used to feel, and it's never going to because they're a huge $1 million corporation now, and they're gonna always have the bright lights and work it like they're making movies and making a television show. But sometimes I want everyone to watch wrestling, and I'm always promoting wrestling. I get people to watch wrestling, but I want to just say the one thing I'll always have a problem with the WWE is sometimes it does feel overproduced.
It pisses me off sometimes. Something good is happening, like something that I'll actually say is good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I always, especially on the first watch, I always find myself either anticipating or counting the camera cuts.
Yeah.
I could be in the middle of a great Samoa Joe promo, a great Daniel Bryan match, something like that. Or like this is an entrance I love seeing. And I find myself either like, one's coming, trying to make a game out of it, or just like counting. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 17 in 30 seconds.
Like wrestling needs to be just like she'll take it back a bit.
You'll give Kevin Dunn all the money in the world to just go away.
Yeah, he's been great. No disrespect to him. He's been great.
No, he hasn't.
No, I mean, he's been in the 80s. There's a lot of good stuff back in the 80s. The more technology progressed, the more he got a little bit more crazy with it.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he likes even wrestling.
I think I read somewhere they didn't like wrestling.
A lot of people need those camera cuts because their strikes are really bad. So that makes sense. On Impact, you do the cut. I can understand that right before the punch hits, the kick hits. I understand that you don't want it to look phony. That makes a lot of sense. It's just way too many. It's really annoying. It's shitty to watch. Let us watch from the outside. Could you imagine? Oh, you don't even watch those sports. Okay, I want to ask this question.
Let's talk about shitty from the just shitty stuff. The whole Rusev Lashley thing still going on. They said that Liv Morgan's gonna be in the corner of Rusev. She didn't come out to the end. She ended up getting coke thrown in her face, and that caused Rusev to lose. Next week we're getting Rusev and Lana. Lashley and Lana against Rusev and Liv. She used the B word because the B word's a buzzword, and that means it's serious.
I heard something good on somebody's podcast. I'll think of it at some point.
But my point is this. People, listen, the storyline needs to end. I get it. It's edgy. It's this and that.
Let it keep going. It's
been funny.
It's not affecting me.
It's been fun. It's had its funny moments and stuff, but if this is the type of stuff that people were clamoring for so many years because they want the Attitude Era back, this isn't the part of the Attitude Era I think we like.
Dude, sorry to tell you, it's the highest rated thing on the show.
Is it?
They're not changing it. Why would they? If they'd be stupid if they did. It's the highest rated thing on the show. Those segments get numbers, and they do huge numbers on YouTube.
And I would say the same thing. Let's be honest though. Like the wedding, I thought was entertaining. Like I said, it was so bad that it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But this is what my problem was with this match. I felt like.
Once again,
I'm not booking the show. I'm not I don't know what their minutes were in this. I just felt like what they did in 2 segments, having that match go through a commercial break could have been done in 1.
Yeah.
They could have had Lashley and Rusev come out there. They could have Liv Morgan come out early, and they could have cut the commercial. They could have
unnecessary time.
They could have came back to Liv and Rusev kind of the promo backstage and Lashley. They could have continued the story that way. Mm-hmm. It didn't need to go 2 segments.
It didn't need to be 2 segments in the ring like that. Yeah, I get what you mean.
That was the thing that bothered me about it.
Yeah, they always talk about how precious TV time is, but they seem to give it away a lot.
There's matches that I like. Listen, I'm always complain about the matches that go so many segments. I think there are certain matches that should, and the certain matches that shouldn't.
Not many.
That was one
even the best matches. Sometimes 1 commercial break. That's it.
So that made me come to the point of are they just not creative enough to know how to book that time with other creative stuff?
No.
Or is it just they thought this needed this much time because it really didn't?
They're trying to use up time, man.
And so they're not creative enough to come up with how they can make up that time if they didn't go this many segments?
You have a whole room full of people who clearly aren't good at their job.
And there's so many people back there. And you get so many
people who say, oh, it's hard to write, it's hard to this, it's hard
to that. We couldn't have another Street Profits promo.
Get people who it's not hard for. Because you know what? There's a lot of writers in the world.
And I get writing a 3-hour show every week is hard, but
it's hard to make it
I don't know what it is like, but
it's hard for the continuity and the quality control, especially when you have so many writers, but it's not that hard to write good stuff. I've never done it.
Yeah.
I can't say it with such confidence.
Yeah.
But we've seen them do enough good stuff, at least for 1 segment every week.
Yeah.
It can be done.
No, I agree, and they've had good shows, and this show wasn't bad either. Like, I'm hyped for the show. For example, next week's match I'm really excited for, Andrade versus Rey Mysterio in a ladder match. Dude, if that goes 3 segments, that makes sense.
They should write 4 shows at a time, or do what Jay already says.
Yeah.
Go from your endpoint and work backwards. They're clearly not doing that. They're week to week, and that's just not how you write. And this, we're in they call it the golden age.
I think they book a lot now. They booked what's going to happen next week a lot the week before, because we've been getting a lot of match announcements the week before now.
True. They call it the golden age of television. We have some of the best television shows at the tips of our fingers. There's just so many that are so quality. Raw and SmackDown cannot keep getting away with such garbage, man.
No, it's true. SmackDown's fun, but it's not the great.
There's
not memorable moments.
Even the worst shows could win awards somewhere.
Yeah.
You have top of the line actors coming down to do TV shows and stuff like that.
Talking about great actors, though, and this is the last thing we'll talk about Raw, and then we'll move on to NXT and AEW and quickly talk about that and wrap it up. How great was R-Truth and Brock Lesnar in that segment?
I think that was a real laugh from Brock.
No, 110%. Even if it was supposed to be like a fake, like he actually found that funny. When he called out Paul Heyman, like that was funny. And R-Truth is so good at being R-Truth. It was just great.
Yeah, because nobody tells him what to say.
Yeah, and it was just great, and it was funny. And this is like they're obviously being the nitpicky. Like, let me look at the good and the bad. The only negative from that was the promo meant nothing. Like,
why do you always have to find a negative?
No, I was just looking at it because I was in a chat with a bunch of people on Flick Chat, join my Flick Chat group.
You always find a negative.
No, it's just that like they're coming back next week. But I'm like, realistically, this promo, because when Brock was coming initially, I'm like, there's nothing they're gonna say.
Dude, it's pro wrestling. Almost none of it matters except for the main event stuff.
But I'm like, there's nothing he's gonna say that's gonna change anything unless he's gonna put the belt on the line in the Rumble. And then it came out and it led to nothing. And
you just talked about how good it is.
No, but the R-Truth thing
there is
so
no
good.
negative.
So it made up for it with the R-Truth thing. I almost kind of wanted Brock to beat R-Truth for the 24/7 title just for shits and giggles. But
and then lose the 24/7 title, but not the main title. Lose it to like Heath Slater or something. Oh,
but then Mojo won it, and who cares about Mojo? But but it was such a funny segment. It was real laughs coming out of Brock Lesnar. Side note, though, I was just joking around, and I'm like, Boombox Lesnar would never have beefed with R-Truth like that, though.
No, he would have.
They would have jammed out together, right? But that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. Brock Lesnar took out R-Truth, and
that's what's up.
That's what Brock Lesnar said.
What is it, 1999?
That's what Brock Lesnar said. Yeah. That's what's up.
What's up?
In a southern voice, and threw the mic down.
He's from Minnesota.
I know, but he sounds so southern.
No, Minnesota's, they have the exact same as the Canadian accent.
Oh, then he sounds, well, he lives in Saskatchewan.
No, but Minnesota people talk like Canadians. They talk like that Nova Scotian type.
They love hockey there, too, so it says a lot.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
A lot of places love hockey.
But Minnesota's one of those, remember, what was it? Coach Bombay from the Mighty Ducks?
He played for Minnesota. Yeah. He's not from, he played there.
I know, but it just, that's what I always like, Minnesota, hockey, Mighty Ducks.
Do you know where that team became?
The Anaheim Ducks?
Dallas Stars.
Oh, Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
Oh, Minnesota Wild?
Yeah.
Who the
Minnesota Wild came in like 1999, 2000.
Yeah. It's all about the Quebec Nordiques, man.
Yeah.
Anyways.
They had a lot of stars.
They did.
Sundin, Forsberg.
Waugh started there. Anyways, why are we talking about hockey? That was the only thing I wanted to say.
Waugh got drafted by the Habs.
Oh, yeah, he did. You're right. I have his rookie card.
Yeah. No, you don't. Your brother has his rookie card.
No, I have his rookie card. I collect hockey cards. My brother only had a Wayne Gretzky rookie card there still. That's the truth. I had the
You collect hockey cards.
Yeah, I collect.
You were really trying to fit in back then.
No, I actually, I really liked hockey back then. I also used to get a hockey jersey from every city I went to, and I used to watch all the time. I was a big Colorado Avalanche fan the year 2002, I think it was, and then they won the cup, and I was really happy. I remember the day after my birthday, I went to Colorado versus the Canucks because I was such a Colorado fan. And no, it was Halloween because someone threw a pumpkin on the ice. It was really intense. But and then I tried being a Canucks fan. And then 2011, and then like 2011 happened.
Milan, Hayduk, Alex Tanguay,
no, it was Hayduk, Drury, Forsberg, Sakic, Waugh,
Adam Foote, Rob Blake.
Yeah, Rob Blake finally won the cup. I was a huge, if anything, I was a huge hockey fan. I can't sit and tell you I was a huge basketball fan or football.
You were a fan for 1 year, it seems like.
No, I was a fan for years.
1 year.
No, years. We used to play street hockey at the time. I had all jerseys.
That doesn't make you a hockey fan.
I was a huge hockey fan, dude.
A lot of people play soccer, never seen a soccer game in their life.
Yeah, but I was a huge hockey fan. I collected cards, collected jerseys at the games.
You're also not racist.
I'm not. You don't appreciate the fact that I'm fans of other things. It's really...
That's not true. You know your music.
Yeah, I know.
You know movies and TV.
Yeah, because as I got older...
I know you don't like sports.
This is so off topic because we should get back to wrestling in a second.
Why? This is our show. We can do what the fuck we want.
2004, the lockout happened, okay?
Yeah.
And that's when I first kind of felt, because that's when I was going from grade 7 to grade 8. And I was like, no hockey for a year? Okay, whatever. And then first part of high school...
Well, Ovechkin scored 32 points in 48 games.
Yeah, so the first part of high school... I wasn't really into it. 2006, I remember, because my last box of hockey cards I bought was 2006, and I got a Crosby and a Ovechkin and stuff. And that
bought hockey cards in high school?
Yeah, up until 2006.
What a loser!
I told you I was a fan. I'm a real fan of hockey. Okay, I met Kluche. I met all these guys back in the day. I used to go to all the games, and then, I became a hockey fan again. They had another lockout. I think it was 2011 or something, 2008. I don't know. They had a second one, and I kind of fell out of it again. And then I got on the Canucks bandwagon, and then 2011.
Oh, the second lockout. That's when Ovechkin scored those goals.
Yeah, and then obviously I got back into it. 2010, the Olympics happened, and we're Team Canada, woo! And I was like, hockey. And then 2011 happened, and then honestly, since 2011, I just I like it. I watch highlights. I'm just not. I don't have a team that I'm really behind. I was actually waiting for the Canucks to get rid of the Sedins because my theory was, what's been the common denominator of the Canucks since 1999? The Sedins. Let's just mix it up. You can't say you're rebuilding a team if they're still there, which a lot of people didn't agree with. But they're gone now. and we'll see what happens. But that is my hockey story. 2011 fucked it up for me because the Canucks made it all through the finals and they lost. And then I was like, I guess that's hockey for me. I guess we're just gonna tie the knot here and call it a day.
You're gonna get married and call it a day?
Yeah, tie the knot with sign the papers to get my divorce from hockey. I'm just gonna stick with this wrestling stuff.
I'll give you my business card after.
But that's what happened. That's honestly what happened. That was my hockey story. And yeah, 2006.
That was a lot like our Truth promo. It was no point. It went nowhere.
Exactly, but now it's a segment on our show.
Yeah.
And people get to know me a little bit better.
Justin pretends to know stuff.
No.
See us next week. Stick around.
I know
we'll
stuff,
be right back.
But Devon doesn't believe it.
I do. I just said all the things I think you know about.
Yeah, and I do know about those things. I introduced you to the Beatles.
I know you know about stuff. We were talking about two things here: sports and Japanese wrestling.
And I know those things.
I'm not walking around thinking you don't know this or don't know that.
I know about Japanese wrestling. And I don't know about sports.
Thank you.
But I know about hockey.
You just said what I was trying to say.
But I know about hockey.
We agree. There's nothing else to talk about.
But I know about hockey.
Huh?
I know about Japanese wrestling. Hockey and Japanese wrestling.
You know portions of hockey from like
I know
3
old
or
school
4
hockey.
different
Yeah.
years.
No, not 3 or 4 different years. From like...
That's all good. Let's move on, man.
I'd say from like 98 to like 2006. And then I'd stop. And then I'll say like from
Great run,
2008 to like 2011. You know?
Awesome run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then old school stuff because I like classic stuff and I remember being like whatever. But yeah. All Elite Wrestling. Let's just talk about NXT because I didn't get to watch it, but I know I watched the Battle Royal.
Is there anything you actually want to talk about?
Yeah, I watched the Battle Royal at the end.
Bianca Belair sucks. That's all I know.
I didn't pick. I thought Io Shirai was gonna win.
Bianca's not a good wrestler.
But I will say that there was like back to me going about how like the Raw's just thin on women. They've made the women's tag team titles, but now the
NXT women's division sick.
Now remember I'm like they made the women's tag team titles, but now it doesn't seem like there's enough women anymore. At one point it seemed like there's so many. There's so many women on NXT.
We need Alicia Fox.
There's so many. There's so many women in NXT. Like it's stacked that Battle Royal.
Yeah.
And I love Battle Royals, so like I actually tuned in. That was the one part I'll stream the Battle Royal.
Yeah, people hate. I
enjoy Battle Royals.
Yeah,
and it was good, man.
I don't know who's gonna win.
I didn't know who was gonna win. Right? I actually didn't know either. I only said Io because at the end it came to Io and Bianca, and I was like, obviously Io.
Because Sam, what's his name?
Roberts?
Yeah, Sam Roberts said Bianca Belair, she can't win the big one. It's just someone to lose to Rhea. It's awesome.
Yeah, no,
Great.
for sure. And
remember how choke people were when he said that?
We saw Casey Katsura.
She gets a waste of a takeover match.
We saw Casey Katsura return. We saw Tegan Knox back in the ring finally.
What's it? That Katazara, she was dope in the Royal Rumble.
Katazara, that's her name,
She
right?
started humping the pole and stuff.
And she got back in. That was creative. Tegan Knox is back, and they continued the feud with Dakota Kai, who hoped to get eliminated.
It always trips me out when her and Dakota talk. I always forget they have access.
Who was the girl that eliminated Shayna that with the green hair? She's like, I know her name, but I'm not gonna look it up. I followed her right after that NXT Battle Royal, but like Heartlander or something. I don't know what it is, a Statlander, but Hartwell or something. I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she eliminated Shayna Baszler, who was obviously a strong favorite in the match. That she was in it. Like Shayna.
Oh man, I think everybody was so sick of Shayna.
And
or is it just me? I don't know.
Mercedes Martinez and Shayna going head to head was a cool.
Mercedes
visual.
cool. She's cool.
It was good to have in there. I really enjoyed the Battle Royal. Other things though that I saw on NXT, but once again I didn't watch it live. But the things that I saw after the fact, I always post about.
You can tell us not that much because you're rushing through it.
Keith
That's
Lee,
what you do.
Keith Lee doing his big pounce on somebody, knocking them through the bushes.
Did he get hurt? Someone was saying he might be hurt.
No, I don't think so. He beat up a bunch of people. Keith Lee, for anyone that says that Keith Lee doesn't have any charisma or he doesn't.
Who nobody says that.
No, there has social media. Once again, stupid Instagram comments. I can literally go with my comments about NXT and be like, "This Keith Lee has no charisma."
It's all perverts on Instagram, anyways.
But I think you guys are not understanding what Keith Lee really is. He is.
No, what they don't.
You know who said it?
They don't understand.
Brad Shepard. That guy said Keith Lee has no charisma. And I don't understand.
The most disliked, no respect, like literally a bag of dog shit and a bucket of puke with cat litter in it has more fucking respectability than that garbage guy. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
He's a fucking loser.
Thank you. I don't even swear about it because it really does suck.
I'll give you my address, Brad. I don't give a shit.
So yeah, that idiot said Keith Lee has no charisma, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
No, he doesn't know what charisma means.
Keith Lee's
Look
great.
it up in the dictionary. What he means is Keith Lee can't do these 10-minute long, brilliant, excellent, whatever promos. That's not what charisma is.
Yeah, no, and if he can't, like,
when he comes on the screen, you want to watch. When he lifts up his hand, when he does his little Rocky smell thing, people watch. He does something, people want to see it.
No, 100%.
That's charisma.
I think Keith Lee has.
Are you attracted to watching him? Is there something about him that makes you want to watch the screen?
And that's the thing. I want to watch his matches. He's a big guy that moves in a way that I don't understand how.
That is what charisma is.
And I'm like, this guy's got it, and I don't know what that it is, but he has it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when he's on there, I want to watch his matches.
Brad Shepard eat a bowl of baby.
And they did a really good job of selling him over that Survivor Series weekend to me to make me be like, yo, this Keith Lee guy, I'm with it. I bask in the glory of Keith Lee. But his potential is limitless. But
look at that! Look at you. You're on fire right now.
I know. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, two things. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic stuff. I'm
more interested in Worlds Collide.
Matt Riddle,
that card shaping would be great.
and Pete Dunne, two guys I did not think was gonna mesh well together, but well together greatly.
Riddle.
No, and I love Pete Dunne. I've always been a Pete Dunne fan too. So like, those are two guys, but they're just the personalities are so different. Pete Dunne's like the bruiserweight, serious dude, and the Matt Riddle's like, yo, bro.
Pete Dunne can cut his hair and shave his beard a bit now. I won't get upset.
But they're like someone. This is not my comment, but someone commented this on my page when it came to Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, and I thought it was kind of funny. That I like the buddy cop movie I never thought I needed because they're so different, but they work well together.
Yeah,
and it's some good stuff.
It's like what's his name? Pete Dunne's like Mark Wahlberg and other guys.
Yeah, it's like Will Ferrell, and that's those two. Like,
yeah.
So it's like it's good stuff. Or even like Ice Cube and Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
the one's a stoner, you know what I mean. But big fan of Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, and that match for opening from what I watched of it because I did catch the end of it because I was trying to stream and watch AEW at the same time. It's good.
Yo, so who's DIY facing again?
Tyler Bate and Trent Seven.
And what do they go by?
Mustache Mountain.
Oh, nice. You said it properly. Well done.
Thank you.
My man.
The other thing I was going to say was also very unfortunate. It was great to see the Time Splitters back. Sucks that they lost and they're already eliminated.
Splitters.
Yeah, Time Splitters.
They said Splitters.
I might have said it by accident.
It's okay.
But
I'm just on that one today.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm glad that the Time Splitters are back.
Yeah.
It was good to see them.
Does that mean Alex Shelley's going to be in NXT?
I don't know if he's going to stick around or if that's it.
I don't think it. I mean, why not?
I mean, you could really help 205 Live.
Yeah, very much.
And shout out to Swerve, #1 contender for Garza. My boy Shane Strickland.
They're gonna do a 4-way though.
Isaiah Scott.
They're doing a 4-way with that.
Are they? I thought he won.
I saw one NXT UK person got into that match.
Oh, because I'm like, I thought he won to face him 1-on-1.
Garza's got charisma.
No, he does.
So does Swerve.
He might be the Latin star they've been looking for.
Swerve's so cool, man.
Yeah, he is. No, he's the man, dude.
Where's Velveteen been?
His back injury, and I heard it's worse than people expected.
Yo, could you imagine if he's part of the Survivor Series stuff?
That would have been dope.
Yeah.
Speaking about charisma, that guy's a ball of charisma.
Charisma.
I do. Swerve's sick. He's the man. I'm glad he won. Good match with Leo Rush and Tyler Breeze. But Swerve's the man, so shout out to them. Swerve versus Garza. That's going to be good stuff. That's all I really care about when it comes to NXT. AEW, honestly.
It was a good show.
One of the better shows.
Yeah.
The Bash of the Beach theme was fun.
That was cool.
They had like girls sitting up there.
Tony Schiavone.
Schiavone's wearing one of his Hawaiian shirts and stuff.
That's probably one of his Nitro.
It was so funny. There was one point they cut to the commentary team and Tony Schiavone seemed so disgruntled and pissed off and annoyed. And then by the time they did the next time, he had like this big smile on his face. It's like somebody told him like, "Yo, why do you look so pissed?"
Yeah, why you look so angry?
But I love Tony Schiavone. Love Jim Ross. It was a good show. Another thing I'm kind of I like Excalibur. He's down and stuff.
I'm with Jim Cornette. Why are you wearing a mask, bro?
I almost think like Taz, Ross, and Schiavone would be like a good trio too.
No, just Taz and Ross.
100%. But like I like
Schiavone can just do interviews and all that.
110%.
I love Schiavone on there, but I think you need obviously more than one person. And I think we already know and we saw from recent times in the last couple of weeks here that Taz brings out some of that old JR.
Yeah, and if Schiavone's
he wakes JR up a bit.
If Schiavone's doing those in-ring promos and the on-the-ramp promos and the backstage of Jennifer Decker doing those promos, I think it works. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure what Schiavone and Taz would be like.
I don't know, but
I'm sure you know.
And I know we already know Schiavone does all that stuff for AEW Dark on Tuesdays, and we heard that AEW's got a new contract with TNT that goes to 2023 now.
I guess people are just giving away money nowadays.
And they're also told they're going to get an extra hour. I don't know if it's on the same day or
after
a
second show.
A second show? Like
they're getting a second show. Not dark. They're getting like a second show.
Do they need that?
No, they're just giving like... Obviously, that TNT doesn't do massive ratings because these guys aren't even doing over 1 million.
Yeah, well, I heard, I might be wrong, that they did like 900,000 this week.
But they're not... That's not a lot.
I know, but they're getting there.
They were there and they went a lot down.
Oh, for sure.
They've leveled out.
I think since the new year, they've been putting up
between 7 and 9. With the way Nielsen ratings work, it could be either or.
And I'm telling you, and I don't know how much to put weight into that type of stuff because there are so many of us that stream it, DVR it.
That doesn't matter.
Well, I think it plays a part, man. I really think it does.
No, it doesn't.
I think it does.
No.
There's not many people.
They're not.
I don't think any wrestling is must-watch TV anymore.
No, but they're not filling buildings and they're not getting huge ratings. So
Smackdown doesn't fill buildings either.
Yeah, but WWE's a machine.
I know, but I'm just saying
it's a little different.
No, for sure. I wonder what NXT would do if they went.
WWE does house shows like 6-7 days a week.
Yeah, which is
AEW does one show a week.
But anyways, I thought the show was good.
It was
Since
a good
the
show.
beginning of this year, they've been putting on better shows. Though, like literally, I can't complain about anything that happened on the show besides the Nightmare Collective women's match. That was the worst part of the show. The only part of the show where I actually wished that NXT aired live in Canada so I could switch the channel.
I like Brandy's whole like.
You like something with Brandy? I'm just waiting to hear this.
I like how it's just like, I'm bad, but you're stuck with me kind of attitude she has now. I can get down with that.
The match was bad.
Because she's not out here trying to like defend herself like Lana does. She's just like, well, fuck you.
The match was bad. It moved slowly.
She's not good.
Statlander wasn't good. That whoever
Dude, people were talking about Statlander like the second coming. She's not good.
The thing with the women's division is like, why do we care about any of these girls?
There's not. Riho is actually decent.
Who's the girl that tagged with Sheeta?
She's actually decent too.
No, not that they're not decent. They're good, but like, why do we care? Like,
some of them just aren't even good wrestlers. Even
like, give us
neither
Rose
is not. Neither Rose is not good. Statlander's not that good.
Where was Awesome Kong?
Britt Baker's like the definition of a good hand.
Yeah. No, but they could like develop some of the characters. I don't know, but that was the only down point about the entire show. I love the opening match.
Yeah,
it was great. Orange Cassidy still got the biggest pop of the night, just coming in there doing his thing.
Always does, right?
A lot of people said the first opening match was a spot fest, which kind of was.
Who cares?
But who cares? It was
It's
good.
a buffet.
It was entertaining.
A little bit for everyone.
DDP back in action. He did his thing. He looked great.
His daughter's doing naughty stuff. With
The thing
MJF.
I want to say about MJF is people are like, oh, MJF's not like a good heel. He doesn't adapt. He's like that kid, that spoiled kid that you tell a kid to be tough. I'm like, that's
right.
what his character is.
You're actually right.
And if you're making this caption talking about how you don't like MJF, then he's working. Because real heels you don't like.
None of us know what the hell a heel is. That's why we're not in freaking wrestling.
Listen, if there's a heel and we like them and we're cheering for them and we're rooting for them against a babyface, and on many occasions that happens. When Kevin Owens is a heel, a lot of times I'm rooting for Kevin Owens. Not that he's a bad heel, it's just a heel should be likable. MJF, Baron Corbin, they're real heels, man. We actually don't like them.
Cool. I've never seen anyone say MJF's not a real heel.
Oh, I've been hearing it. Like, oh, I don't know why people call him a real heel. He just acts like a tough kid. I'm like, you don't like him. He's doing it right. If you were writing a caption about how much you love MJF and how you want to see MJF go over, then he's not doing his job properly.
Yo, it's things like that that makes me embarrassed to be a wrestling fan.
And I had to go through like a thing. People arguing with me. I just felt like I had to say it.
It's so embarrassing.
Not even because MJF is a friend.
You people that are like that, you make it embarrassing for us normal people.
But not because like I know MJF and he's a friend. It's just more because like listen, like what you guys are complaining about is dumb. That means he's doing a good job of what he's doing. If you're saying that, well, it sucks when he does this, and when he comes on my team, like, boo him. Yeah, don't like him. It's not like he's not getting a reaction.
What the hell is a real heel?
If people said he wasn't getting a reaction, that's lies.
There's no such thing as a real heel.
People chant assholes.
There's a lot of different ways to be a bad guy.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Jesus Christ.
110%. People are like, oh, other people are bad guys. I'm like, yeah, but the bad guys you end up liking.
You want all the same bad guy? Yeah, you idiot.
And most of the bad guys that you guys end up liking are forced to become baby faces because we like them too much.
Jesus Christ. People are so dumb.
That's so bad. I feel like, listen, what do I know? I don't know. But in my mind, like,
do they do this when they watch other shows?
I'm like, there are typical different kinds of heels, 110%. This guy is a good heel. Don't come at me saying he doesn't even adapt. He does the same thing over and over again.
Good heel, bad heel, it doesn't matter.
You're annoyed by him. You want to see him get his ass kicked.
We don't know what a good heel is. There's no such thing.
If you want to go, but if you go into an MJF match, if you're like, I don't want to see this MJF guy win because he sucks, that's good.
All he does is roll people up.
Yeah, and that was so funny because he tweeted after, he's like, look at everyone doing Canadian destroyers and all this stuff, and I win by a roll up.
Yeah.
That's solid because Canadian destroyers are the new super kick and something that's not going to bother me months from now. But at this very particular moment, it's done way too much.
I'd say Canadian destroyers are the new suicide dive.
Yeah, sure. Because super kick, suicide dives, then Canadian destroyers.
I'm never going to get tired of super kicks. So.
I'm not tired of them, but it's a move that was overutilized that it just became a regular move.
Yeah.
A Canadian destroyer, it looks so badass, should never become a regular move.
Or the athletes just got so much better that everybody got good at super kicks. Where back in the day, it was just only Shawn Michaels could get us like that high. Yeah. Only Shawn Michaels kicks.
And they also, and back in the day, I think they protected finisher moves. Like if this guy's doing
they
a
do now
finisher,
still
you can't
too.
do it either.
They still do that now too.
It just some of those finishing moves became regular moves, and honestly, that's happened to a lot of moves. The DDT is such a regular.
That's the one
move.
Everybody knows. But after DDT, people have a hard time naming other ones.
A super kick.
Yeah, there's
the lariat.
Other than that one,
the lariat.
JBL's was over.
I know you can still get him over.
Nobody can get a clothesline over. JBL's last one. That's never gonna be able to do that.
Rainmaker.
I think Brian Cage.
Rainmaker.
I think Brian Cage get that shit over.
My Japanese knowledge is Rainmaker.
Huh?
The Rainmaker. It's basically a lariat.
Oh, Tetsuya Okada?
No. It's
Just joking, dude.
Kazuka Hakata, okay? My Japanese wrestling knowledge, man. Don't mess with it. But otherwise, AEW is good. That was the only low part. The main event was good. I loved Pac versus Darby Allin.
Excellent. Darby's a freaking
There
star.
were some spots in there, but they had more of a technical
Oh my God,
wrestling.
you're so negative.
They had some good wrestling. I enjoyed it.
Like, at least if I'm negative, I'm straight up negative. You'll say all these good things and you go, but
Devil's advocate.
You're
over
like,
here.
so you're like everyone's mom. You're gonna come up with some negative shit to say after you kind of compliment us.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I am, just to let you know.
Actually, don't shut up.
Devil's advocate. Like, it was a great match.
Butch Devil.
But
No, Darby's a star.
Darby, and Pac, these type of guys, mid card title, man. These guys, I could watch these guys wrestle
I was talking to my buddy about
for a
this
month
yesterday.
about those type of guys fighting for a mid card
Wait
title.
till the second show comes. Right now, if they do what UFC does, as long as they keep treating the number one contendership, I can kind of take that as a mid card title.
And that's what they're doing because these guys, he won a chance to fight Moxley next week for number one.
I wouldn't mind 2 number one contenders.
But let's be honest, Moxley's somehow going to beat Pac because he's going to face Jericho after Jericho spiked him in the eye, which is great. Great classic heel stuff.
Yeah, that's what got Dusty fired.
But
in '89.
Look at you.
88.
Look at this guy's got the knowledge. You're a fraud, man. Would you just Google that this week?
Hmm?
This guy, Google that after you watched it. Heard somebody say it.
Conrad
Fraud.
says it all the time.
Conrad, that guy.
Hey. How are you?
But my point is, Moxley's gonna beat Pac somehow. But it'd be nice to have Pac still have something to go after. Say if Darby was like a mid card champion or something.
I don't think that deep into it.
I do.
Yeah.
I just want them to do good. And I'm like,
Pac's one of the best on the planet. He should always have something to do.
Hangman's still getting drunk, but they're going after the tag titles next
He
week.
needs to do something about his ring gear, anything, something. He just looks like a pudgy regular guy.
Yeah, remember that's why he wasn't allowed to wear full gear for so long. That was like a whole running joke because he doesn't have a body like Pac.
I didn't know that.
That's why
I like
B.
I like the other
B.
I like the other 99.9% of the world do not watch BTE.
Oh wow, I actually didn't for.
And I think a lot of their fan base doesn't either, because if you look at Twitter, people are like, what the hell's going on?
And honestly,
then you have like 2 people coming, well, on BT week 32, they did
because I'm one of those people just like hockey. Like I stopped watching for a long period of time, got back into it when AEW started, and I caught up on everything. Like this past week, and they do all these things like so for before every Dynamite, they do a road to Memphis, a road to the next city they're going to, and in those road to they build up the matches they have coming up on Dynamite. But I'm like, if I watch these before the shows,
did they advertise it on Dynamite?
No, that's a problem. That's what I was getting to. So I'm like, if I watch these before the shows, I would have been more excited to see.
I wonder
the
if
Jurassic Express versus these guys, the best friends. But I didn't watch this.
A part of me wonders now, like, is TNT saying you can't advertise that? But then they could just put it up on TNT's YouTube channel.
Yeah, because it's so dumb. Because there's so much good stuff on there that would make you
and
watching the show better.
Cody and those guys are smart guys, so they're probably like, we need to like promote these videos.
Yeah, dude, they're so well produced.
Find out what's happening.
They're so well produced.
Make some.
They're
phone calls.
so good. Like no, I don't.
Not
maybe
so good.
I'm
not so good and not that well produced.
Watch them, dude. This the last one they talked about DDP.
Oh, BTs?
No, not the BTs. The Road 2s.
Oh, I'll never.
The BTs are just them messing on
I
cameras.
don't watch YouTube shows.
The Road 2s are they're produced by AEW, and it's like Diamond Dallas Page giving an interview talking about his match this week on Bash at the Beach.
If BTU's on Netflix, I would watch it religiously.
And stuff like that. But stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like they're like, and like they did a whole like expose, not expose, like a whole character development, like telling us who the Jurassic Express
Kelly
are.
Kelly's expose?
No, they're telling us who like Jurassic Express are and all that. Like they do really well produced like
Jungle Boy Jack Perry
segments that would help you get into the matches you're gonna see on Dynamite, but nobody ever knows about them because nobody ever talks about them.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
So
it'd be really helpful if they told people.
My last name advice is just on AEW.
You've done more to promote it in the last 5 minutes than they have since October.
Get JR, get Excel. Somebody like, hey, watch our YouTube channel. Check, we talked to DDP before this match about what's about this match. It's on the road to on our All Elite Wrestling. Like, promote it because it's good shit. Like, if I watch that,
that's some good shit.
If I watch that stuff before Dynamite, I would have been more into like Lucha. The Jurassic Express was the best friends.
And to be fair, you have told me about that a lot, but I can't.
Because people aren't going to go out of the way to go on YouTube and watch it. They're just not.
They will though. People do. That's what people do.
No,
people live on their cell phones and their iPads.
I think only the fans that are already fans of BTE are going to go do that.
It wouldn't be hard to get people into it.
To get new fans,
and from what I hear, they're as good as you say they are.
Yeah.
I've never heard really a bad thing about them.
But to get new fans that are tuning into Dynamite for the first time ever to go watch them.
But you know the thing is, they've never said it on Dynamite. If they said it on Dynamite, they have 900,000 plus. You said like streamers, DVR people. Let's say they have about 2 million people watching their show. Imagine 10,000 of those people decide to go on YouTube
and watch it.
Small fraction. That's a lot of views, and then they're gonna start telling other people.
And I'm telling you,
don't tell me.
Go home, watch like one of them.
No.
Like watch one of the Road 2s.
No. If we hang out,
can we just play it? Like if you watch on the Road 2.
Next time we hang out, I will 100% watch 1 or 2 or 3 with you.
Because
when you put when you put stuff on, I'll sit there and watch it.
Yeah, and then think about when we watch them. Think about because you have to remember, because I watch them. I'm like, oh, that match happened after this. That match happened after this, because they're usually promoting matches and what's going to happen at the Dynamite. I'm like, I would have been so much more invested in the show in these matches if I somehow knew to watch these before.
And I see that a lot on Twitter. I enjoyed this, but the other majority of the population that didn't know the show exists probably didn't get it. Yeah. And like, you have people who are BTE fans trying to say, they're not even telling people go watch BTE. They're telling people you guys would like this as much as you see in the show. I don't know why they're not telling you. And
on BTE, they continue the Adam Page storyline so much. Like, they follow so many things that you don't see on Dynamite. That's like, promote it on the goddamn show.
Well, who are we, right? What do we know?
Listen, 100%. Like, they started BT making fun of fans that tell them what to do and tell them they're doing things wrong. But I'm just saying, if I'm not gonna say I love. I've been really enjoying AEW. It's been getting better week by week. This Dark Order promo this week was even better than they've been on screen.
This week's show got me to watching it. I haven't watched it in a long time.
I am not an AEW hater. I don't pick sides. I love WWE and I love AEW. I enjoy both. But if I could give any bit of advice, promote the goddamn Road 2s and BT on Dynamite.
Even as they're signing out, goodbye. Be sure to watch BT on Thursday.
In the middle of a random match, like Brandy Rhodes and like the Nightmare Collective, put it at the bottom of the screen. Hey, go to YouTube, watch us. Like how WWE's put tweets and shit down there. Just do it.
No, they're spending too much time showing Britt Baker in the crowd.
Yeah, just do it. Like put a little thing on there, like in the middle. I remember back in the 90s, they used to plug what matches were coming on later in the match. They cut the screen in half. Like, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
During the commercial break, I don't know, dude. Like when you do the double screen, it's just someone standing in the ring.
You'll see a Repo Man this week on Tuesday. Yeah. I'm coming to get you, right? Ho!
Just do it. You know what I mean? Like, just promote it, because I really think I'm praising how good they are, that more people should know about it. And I think that's all we should say for this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully AEW continues to be good. We'll see what happens at Raw next week. It was good. We'll see what happens this fight on SmackDown. We're heading to the Royal Rumble.
Just don't forget, man.
Don't forget what?
Tessa's racist.
I don't know when or if I'm going to continue to watch Impact, but I did watch Hard to Kill.
You never started watching it.
No, I watched Hard to Kill and I watched what happened after.
Yeah, they built a good card. That was pretty much Tessa's still racist, though. Yeah. Goodbye.
But anyways, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Embrace the madness. See you all next week. Ooh, yeah, dig it.